His name is Foot. I never find him home. I go to his house, knock at his door. People come out and say, Foot, don't live here no more.
Hello there, all you wonderful web-wandering beasts. Brandon Valentine here, the Pretentious Fiend. And I found something. An album. An act. Nay, a piece of history. Yes. The Philosophy of the World. By, of course, the Shaggs. An album widely regarded as being the worst album of all time, but yet at the same time an album that has been drummed up and talked about in celebratory fashion by people like Kurt Cobain and Frank Zappa. It's definitely a listen. I'm missing something. So before we get too far into all of this, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Before we delve into the music of the Shaggs and see what is going on with the music made by these three sisters, we really need to know the whole story. Because it's a really fucking interesting story worth being told, to be honest. This whole cult phenomena really begins with just one man, Dot Wiggins, the father of the three sisters in the Shaggs, Dot, Helen, and Betty. Dot Wiggins became wholly and entirely obsessed with a prophecy. A prophecy that foretold he was going to fall in love with a blonde-haired woman, and then his mother would die, and then he would have two sons, and then after that he would have three daughters, all of which would go on to form a band, change the world, and be his ticket to financial easy street. And well, he did marry a blonde woman. His mother did die immediately after he did have two sons. And then he did have three daughters. And around 1968, he thought to himself,
I'm gonna make sure this final part of the prophecy comes true. I want the fame.
And in doing so, took Dot, Betty, and Helen out of school, placed instruments in their hand, and said, fuck, go. Mere months after having instruments just plonked into their hand for the first time, they were foisted on stage in front of local school dancers and crowds, and they were heckled. They were heckled, things were thrown at them, they were booed. This became a kind of local spectacle, because every time they would play, more and more people would show up to say, there's this band that fucking sucks. And we're gonna go mock the shit out of these poor girls. So after being forced to make music and after being forced to endure a lot of abuse being hurtled to them on stage, Austin thought to himself in some bizarre moment of delusion, these kids actually really like this band. Yeah, I'm gonna put them in a professional recording studio and capture this sound while it's hot because the kids love it. That is some out of touch boomer shit if I've ever fucking heard it. So after a mere simple year of playing music, from what I can understand, they were put into a professional recording studio. And what ensued for this album is bizarre. Now throughout all of this, throughout whatever I'm saying about their music, I am by no means mocking the Wiggins sisters. They were clearly put in a bizarre situation that they didn't expect, and actually probably to a certain degree didn't even want to be there, being forced on stage by, of course, their father. But that being said, this is a fucking wild album, man. It feels like you're driving in a car while your friend is singing at full volume their favorite song, while a fucking different song is blaring on the radio. There's no way to know where you are or what's going on. It's kind of a damn near psychedelic experience. It's so bizarrely disjointing that it can nearly phase you out of reality.
His name is Foot. I never find him home. Oh, the rich people want what the poor people got. Foot, don't live here no more.
It's a rough performance on a rough recording with a rough everything going on. But as viciously rough it is to listen to, it is, in my honest and humble opinion, remarkably endearing. There's this wonderful, innocent catharsis about it. I can see why someone like Frank Zappa or someone like Kurt Cobain would have actually unironically and unabashedly have listened to this to gain something. It's so charming and endearing and weirdly intriguing that after about 15 minutes of listening to it, where you're sitting there going, what the f is going on? You just accept that rhythm is now a bendable, malleable thing that has no necessary obligation to the melody. Nicest way I can say that the drums decide to do exactly whatever Helen wants to do at the time. With no time. So is this the worst album ever? Is this a musical crime? I don't really think so. It's definitely an anomaly. It definitely has a bizarre place in art because, as I've said a lot of times before, you can't take art as just what you're presented with. You do have to take it with the context of the artist. You do have to take it in the context of the time. And I've seen interviews with people who have worked with Dorothy Wiggins in the recent years and have brought some really interesting opinions on the matter of this album.
The Shaggs knew exactly what they were doing. They might not have been able to do it as traditionally as other bands, but, you know, we have a chart for My Pal Foot Foot. It's all there.
Why everyone always thought Helen the drummer didn't know what she was doing. She knew what she was doing, she just wasn't doing what Dot and Betty were doing. This is just a pure expression of what was in somebody's head, somebody who was literally forced to make music and didn't want to do this.
And when they perform songs from this album at times, they perform them the way that it was recorded. Intentionally off time, intentionally bizarre. It's written down in sheet music that Dot gives to session musicians. That's kind of fucking genius. And even though I'm a obnoxious wanker about music and everything, I'm radically happy that this album exists and there is something fun in there. And if there's anything this album has left us with, it's the idea of cathartic freedom within art. As rough as it is by technical accounts. That was one of the most aggressive coughs I've ever done. I'll check on the floor later in case a kidney came out. Brandon Valentine, the Pretentious Fiend. I'll catch you all next time, and for goodness sake, remain filthy. Why do I have to do everything like a fucking creep?